All right, here we go, man. Here we go. Let's get some action going here. All right, stream. Everything looks good. Let's see. Chart up a few levels. Mm. All right, perfect, perfect. Drop that. drop- Let's go. All right, yeah, let's go. Top of the morning. Top of the morning, and already seeing that selling pressure step in here. I would love to catch a short, bro. All right, so what do I see here? I can see we're still selling. I'm sorry, we're still sitting inside of this bearish move. We push higher, got this break of structure here inside of this bearish move. So now you have this range right here that you're working with where it's like, all right, is price going to use this break of structure to pull back and go higher? Or is price simply generating liquidity inside of here to go lower? All right, so right now I like how price attempts to go higher right here and fails. With this failure right here, I'm looking at this break of structure leg for a continuation lower, especially since the power of three for this week, we saw Sunday open lower, push up, and then we get that break of structure. So you could say that this was accumulation, this was your manipulation, this was your distribution, and then now you're looking at price just waste time essentially before going lower. If price respects this most recent break of structure here, which it looks like it will, I am looking to take this lower. What did price drive into? Price drive into this up close candle here. It all depends on what we get here, bro. If I'm bearish, I want to see this bullish candle get flipped. Very simple, right? Bullish candles start to get flipped. I'm hip for the short. Pretty much the only profile that could happen so far. So far, good volume. 930 opens higher, pushes up into this zone. You have this 30-minute wick from 4 a.m. that seems to be keeping price bearish. And then now we're looking at, go to 4-hour chart. We're sitting inside of this bullish gap. However, we've bounced in here, tried multiple times to go higher. Didn't really make it out of this. You see this 4-hour high right here, this closing price of this candle, opening price of this bearish candle, serving as a brick wall for price right now. Then you have this 4-hour level here that hasn't been tapped into yet for NASDAQ. We are very close to tapping that level here. And then on YM 4-hour, we are literally slamming off of these previous 4-hour levels. And now you have this 2 a.m. level being tapped into. YM is such, bro. YM is so much cleaner than Nasdaq and ES. I'm convinced that that's just the nature of the market. I don't know why, but YM has been a lot cleaner. It's either bearish or bullish. It's no real in between. We got this 4-hour imbalance here holding up. So I love that price pushed into here. You get this 4-hour doji, 4-hour order block. Price goes higher. Now we're revisiting this area. If we're bullish, you're going to see some sort of bullishness out of here. All right. And then vice versa. If we're bearish, you're going to see that bearishness off of here because we have this 4-hour gap. You get this 4-hour close inside of that 4-hour gap. And then you get clear rejection off of this closure. So I can mark this off as a 4-hour level as well. You see the selling pressure off of it. Same thing up here, right? 4-hour gap fill, you get this 4-hour bullish closure, and then price slams off that closing price. That's a bearish move. Question is, are we going to get a 930 flip back bearish or what? I'm watching this bullish candle here for a potential closure underneath. Or maybe we drive back up into this 4-hour zone, right? You see price has already left some liquidity here. Price could slowly trend up into here and go short. Naturally, I have to be more bearish. It's Thursday, and it's the last 2 days of the week. The first 3 days of the week, New York session has been bullish. I think we finally start to see some selling pressure with the war situation. Rest of the market should be showing red. Yeah, you can see we're overdue for some selling pressure. YM is not afraid to show you that selling pressure. That's why I think I might be focusing a little more on YM for my entries. We'll see. Just depends on the setup, right? But you see YM already breaking this candle. There's no hesitation. There's no games. There's none of that stupidity. All right, so with that, I'm going to wait for 10 a.m. and I want to see how price starts to respond. Maybe we sweep out this previous daily low and then go bullish again. Who knows, you know? So I'm going to be patient here. And I'm looking to absolutely dominate the markets today and tomorrow and the rest of next week. I've seen enough, you know what I mean? I've seen enough. I was reviewing yesterday's session and I saw a few things that I want to take advantage of. So that's the game plan for today. Save that. Boom, boom, boom. I'll go to the 30-minute. Yeah, I'm going to sit back here, see if maybe price wants to revisit this wick. Maybe sweep out this session high from overnight. And then the real games will begin. All right. Cool. All right, what's up? I'm going to go make something to eat. All right, that's that. Boom, boom. Excellent. 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 This looks just like the profile we've seen 3 days in a row. Imagine that. Imagine we get the same exact profile 3 days in a row. Overnight session sells off. Pre-market expands with a lot of expansion, a lot of speed, I should say. And then you get this bullish area of interest right at 10 a.m. And now you're seeing price is tapping into that area here. You're getting SMT off of it. Right now, what I really need to do is figure out which one is stronger. Let's see. So, yes, they both take out this low here. But when it comes to strength, NASDAQ is clearly stronger. We take out these highs on NASDAQ. ES was not able to. So if I'm buying, I need to be buying NASDAQ. NQ is stronger. All right. Need to be buying NASDAQ. We are inside of this bullish zone here. Beautiful. So now I can zoom down and simply wait. Let's go ahead and draw up some levels real quick. 940. Excellent. There we go. Take that blue for the bulls. As long as we're above this blue line, I am looking to buy. YM, same deal. Bullish profile. We get 930. Push up, but then we push down, sweep the low, and before this candle closed, we flip this bearish candle, making this a bullish profile. And with that profile, I want to know how price responds when it gets down into here. And I'm looking for 945. Right. Show life above here. Yeah, 940. Right. 40. Yeah. 45. 50. Yep. Looking for price to show life above here. And if we start sweeping out these lows, this is going to be a excellent buy profile where you get that SMT off the lows. There we go. Lows being swept. You're seeing price drive into these bullish areas right now. Really nice. I can't believe it, but it's given another bullish profile, bro. I genuinely don't understand how the markets are bullish in the middle of a war. And then on top of that, if you remember, coming into March, February was actually showing a lot of weakness. We were catching a lot of sell trades, and they were flying to TP. Price was selling off beautifully. And then magically a war starts, and then the buyers start taking over. It's unbelievable. All right, so I like what's happening here. Give it a few minutes to manipulate this area. Go in here, start generating some lower highs. Make that lower high, and then break that lower high. Boom. And I'm looking for that. This is this is funny because this is literally the same setup we've seen 3 days in a row. Let's see if it ends up playing out, or is it going to end up breaking through all of this and giving you some bearish? We'll see. I'll go down to the 1 minute chart here so that I can get ready for this. Previous daily high seems to be the draw, if you ask me. Wow, I see some traders in shorts right now, kid. Would you guys short this? I don't know. I don't know if I would short this, bro. I don't know if I would short this. I see Tanya just got into a short off of what price? Short off of ES 68.54. Yeah, short off of ES 68.54. So literally somewhere in here. I guess this inversion, yeah, they're shorting this inversion. Um which may not be terrible because I don't think it's gonna just catapult higher. I think it's gonna go give you this short-term low, possibly sweep it, but you already know how I like to operate. Like if I can literally here, let me show you. I'm gonna show you yesterday. It looks exactly like what's happening right now. Yesterday was probably right around 11 a.m. I want to say Wednesday, 11 a.m. Right here. Yeah, so right here. This is exactly what I'm anticipating. You get this bullish area. This was our zone here. Price drives into that zone. It gives you this low, lower high, and then we sweep this low. And then what do you know? We break structure. This is where I took my first buy position yesterday, right? And that's what I'm looking for today, the same type of trade. But today I'm definitely holding the buy until the highs are taken out type of deal, right? But you can see the exact same profile where price opens up at 11, turns around, drives directly into this profile, gives you that low, puts in a lower high, sweeps the low, and then you get that market structure shift, right? So what I'm looking for today will be identical. I want to see price tap into the zone, which we have. We tapped into the zone on ES, which is more than enough. I just need at least one of the assets to tap into the zone. Give you this low right here. Give you this lower high. And if we can start breaking this lower high, I know that that's my market structure shift, and I'm looking to trade it higher. All right. 6 p.m. price is a brick wall right now. As long as we're above this blue line, I will not be looking for shorts. YM should start making a recovery here shortly. So I'll keep an eye on that. Look at this, bro. We put in this low, we put in this lower high. You can see the algorithm is really just, it's almost being lazy, bro. It's giving us the same profile. And today's the day we have to take advantage of it big time. All right, so I have this bearish candle here with this bearish gap. This is where I want to see price break through, okay? And if price can get through here with a clean market structure shift, maybe even a clean bullish fair value gap, all right, I'm looking for something like that. Notice we sweep this session liquidity here, which was yesterday's or London session low for YM. And look at the reaction. You could probably anticipate a really nice, there we go. Yeah. I'm going to get ready for this buy here, guys. It's going to be my first attempt at long. If we can break these highs here. There we go. And then I'm looking at this down close candle as my retest area for, there it is. There goes your market structure shift, very quick. And we're already pulling back here. I'm looking for a retest of this yellow zone so that price can confirm to me that it's ready to go. We're above the blue line on both charts. NASDAQ is the leader. If I'm longing here, I need a tight stop so that I can target this high, previous daily high here. So I'm looking at about a 45 point stop, 45 point TP. 45 points would be 6 micros. Don't take off, kid. 6 micros there. YM should be showing some life. Let's get that market structure shift on YM before I get too antsy here. We should pull back. If YM hasn't broken structure yet, we should pull back a little bit. There we go. So yeah, we're going to get this pullback. Ideally, I want to get in somewhere around this red line. 25,171 would be my ideal entry price. There goes your pullback. Excellent, right on time. YM, I need to see a market structure shift. There goes your retest. YM still hasn't broken structure yet. At least not over here on the YM. Let's check the micro. All right, yeah, so we left those equal highs. It's going to break this high here any moment. It looks like we did break the high over here slightly. Yeah, very slightly, but we should break it over here as well. Getting that retest. We got EMA support. Any climb out of here, and I may tighten my stop just because I like this this bullish whoa. And this is partly because YM hasn't broken structure, right? The fact that YM hasn't broken structure confirms that this type of stuff can happen, bro. I like it. I'm actually liking this price action right now because we've already gotten the market structure shift. If price wants to sweep into here and give us a deep drive, that's even better. Because if price can turn out of this area specifically, I have it highlighted, right? If price turns out of this area and gives another strong reaction, flips this bearish candle right here, then that is what you call excellent protocol. You get the formation, you get the 1 minute market structure shift, and now you're getting a heavy retest. So a lot of selling pressure into this zone. If it fails to break this zone here, that's even more confluence to hammer these buys when price starts to flip. Oh my goodness gracious. What's YM up to? You see that wick? What did that wick just tap into? Midnight price. What else did that wick tap into? The green zone here. So now I have this, I'm going to erase this yellow zone here because I have a beautiful bearish gap here that I can focus on. Price should tap into this gap and absorb those sellers, flip this gap, and then go higher. YM sweeping the lows one more time. Let's go. And then long story short, if all of this fails, what does that tell me? Price needs to start closing through these bearish candles here, because a lot of people are going to try to short this. And the market has already shown you 3 days in a row it's not paying sellers in New York session. I don't know why, but if you're selling in the New York session, you better be ready to get slammed. I'm watching this low right here specifically because if we start closing 5-minute candles below this bullish move here, then I could say, okay, maybe we might actually want lower. And then maybe re-evaluate the situation. But for right now, I'm bullish. And I want to see how price responds to this midnight level. Notice this failure to shift structure right here was a good area to pause and just relax, right? It almost went bullish, and now you're seeing price potentially actually go bearish. This could be a flip. Let's see how this candle ends up. Okay, we're gonna close through here. That's nice. 5-minute chart over here. Are we gonna close through it on all three? No. Look at it. Look at the clock and look at where price is about to close. We're close. Okay, there we go. We actually just closed through this candle. That's impressive. All right. The one thing that's still on the table, if you look to your left, we're still inside of this bullish market area, this 5-minute bullish zone here. We haven't broken it at all on either chart. So YM is the one leaking lower. If YM continues lower, we're good. We're chilling because what do you remember what I was looking for, right? I'm looking for price to maintain above this blue line while giving a market structure shift inside of the zone. So this sell-off doesn't really confirm that we're bearish. We're tapping into midnight. We're tapping into this blue line. We have SMT off the blue line. We have NASDAQ has proven to be stronger, and so far NASDAQ has not been able to break this line. If we get a market structure shift again, this is going to be the easiest buy you could ask for. Because once again, it's the same profile we've seen 3 times in a row this week. And then you're getting YM showing you that manipulation lower. All you need to see from YM is a flip of these bearish gaps here. So we have one bearish gap. This one held up nicely. And now you have another one right here. I really like this, bro. If this ends up giving me anything bullish, I am going to hammer it. No question. All I would need to wait for is for ES to reclaim this blue line, and then keep an eye on YM for potentially flipping back above. So we had, this was our zone here, so this blue line, this low right here, I want to see YM get back above here. YM can get through here. That's going to open the door for higher. What do you know now? ES tapping into 930 price. I'm looking for some bearish gaps on the way down. I don't see any. And if we do end up closing very, very strong. Oh my goodness. No way. Okay. Yeah, this looks weak. It's starting to look weak here. We'll see how NASDAQ responds to the lows of this green zone here. But I'm looking for 1-minute gaps. So maybe we get our first bearish 1-minute gap underneath this blue line, and then we start to flip. It's unbelievable, but I still don't believe that we are bearish. We're sweeping this, tapping into this session level. Look at the volume we saw last time price tapped into this previous session low. 930 absolutely skyrocketed. All right, there we go. We're getting these bearish candles now. Let's see if we can get a gap to form here. Eventually, you have to put in some sort of low. All right, maybe this is your low where price tries to bounce a little bit. And then if we get that lower high and we shift through that lower high, I am so bullish. And we have a clean draw higher. That's why I like this setup a lot. You get a deep drive. No sweeps of liquidity on the way down. You get SMT. So if price actually flips bullish, you should catch the move all the way back to the high and looking for a trade above the blue line, giving you 100+ points for a 2R type of trade. Then on the flip side if this continues to show weakness and we start closing through here on NASDAQ as well, because we're already closing through. Bro, what? There's no way this just happened, bro. Let me check the news before I get up and buy this. I don't anything major. Oh my goodness, bro. Now is the day it wants to just free fall, bro. And it didn't give any opportunity. That's what makes me think it's not bearish. That's what makes me think it is not bearish. This is stupid. Ain't no way this is gonna just keep dropping like this, bro. What did it tap into? Let's pull up some indicators. Nothing. Let's look over here. What do we tap into? Previous daily high. We tapped into this London high barely. We didn't tap into anything, bro. The only thing that we tapped into was this 3-hour wick. I still don't believe we're bearish, bro. We're about to find out though. I'll tell you that. If we're bearish, I'm looking to short it from here. So I'm gonna mark off this as a potential retest level for shorts. Anything down in here, I still like higher. However, the game just completely changed. This looks a lot weaker than I would have expected. This is, this isn't the profile that we saw 3 times in a row. It was at first once you start breaking structure here, and then now this breaking structure fails and turns into a bearish area. And now look at where we are, tapping into this zone here. Got a fair value gap underneath this bullish area. So now I want to see, all right, if we're bullish, I need to see a quick correction right here, right now, before this next 30-minute candle opens at 10:30. If price stays down in here and gives no sign of bullishness right now, what's going to happen is this is going to be a bearish profile, and any retest into this area will become fair game for shorts. Unbelievable. At least the volume is there though. Cannot complain about this volume. This is beautiful. We're tapping into this weekly open here. Tapping into this 4-hour level here. Major SMT, bro. If we can get a clean flip here, I like the buys. It just needs to show speed before 10:30 because the power of 3, right? If 10:30 opens higher, I'm not a fan of buying. I'm gonna look for a short. But if we can show some speed right here, right now, which it doesn't look like it, yeah, this is bearish. I hate that it just sold off out of nothing. We tapped into this midnight price. I'll give it that. ES wasn't able to hold above midnight. But other than that, that was just a straight free fall. Makes you think manipulation instead of actual delivery. But we do got bearish SMT at the highs. So technically, this this profile right here, this red zone right here is really legit now. I like it a lot now for the short. Any retest into here. However, I think price is still has to trade higher back into this level. So I would be okay with buying it back up to, where is this? Time was this? This was at 45.15. So you have this low right here. And then the same thing here. Yeah. 5 minute. 45. Yeah. Bro, this is so stupid. It doesn't feel bearish. It just doesn't feel bearish. It feels like price is wasting time, if you ask me. But I have to respect the bears. The only thing I can respect is a retest of here, which I have it highlighted right here. Boom, boom, boom. A retest of here, I'm hip for short. Because yeah, this is extremely weak now. Just lame how fast that was. That didn't make any sense. But you can almost guarantee price is going to try to push up just as fast here. Let's get ready, man. Let's get ready, man. Let's get ready. It's only 10:30 and the volume is spectacular. I am literally patiently waiting for a really nice move to fall into my trading plan here. So yeah, anything underneath here, pretty much shorts. And I really don't understand how price is just free falling right now. But I guess it makes sense when you think about how fake price has been all week. Price has been pretending to be bullish all week. And then we have this, let's go look at yesterday. Wow, bro. Bro, get out of here, bro. Look at it just dump now, guys. Look at it dump. This is sad. You see how it makes sure it gives you no warning before free falling. You had to be pretty much an inversion trader to catch this move lower. All right, so yeah, basically they ruined the entry opportunity. So now what I'm looking for is it has to be a buy, right? I'm looking for these bearish candles here to be flipped, retested to go higher. It's gonna take a while. You know what I'm saying? So just give price time to do whatever it wants to do here. This sweep right here almost just looks algorithmic. It almost looks as if it's manipulation, right? Because when you see all of this accumulation, this is considered accumulation as well at the highs to me because we left the previous day high, turned all the way back down to take out these lows, and then we're still getting SMT down in this area. ES takes out this low. Right? ES takes out this low. So that's telling me, bro, I don't really think this is gonna keep free falling. If it does, probably won't catch a trade today. However, the moment we start flipping these bearish candles, I'll be right there looking for the buys. Because if I'm short, ideally I want to short up here. I'm not looking to short the bottom of the move. I'm looking to short up here. All right. That's the only place I would be down to short. And then YM over here, same thing. I would be looking to short this last up close candle. Gold, on the other hand, probably looks a lot cleaner. Let's look at gold while we wait. Nothing going on over there. Might have a clean setup over here. Let's see. 9:30 opens, drives. lower, accumulates. Now we get that manipulation lower. Not really doing much here. Yeah, I would say give it another 30 minutes or so to see what price wants to do. That's the safest bet here. I'm gonna give price another 30 minutes and see what price has up its sleeve. This was hilarious, bro. But I will say that this 4-hour level up here is super solid. Look at what happens. We sell off, we tap into it, we sell off, and then NASDAQ taps into it. You get SMT off of that 4-hour level, and then you completely die off again. So I definitely can say this 4-hour level is legit. If price can get back up into here, I would love to trade it. However, my model was not presented for this short here. I'm waiting for price. All right, yeah, we get above here. Where's YM at? Oh my goodness, yeah, it's so weak right now. It's so weak. What should happen though, like I mentioned, if you give it 30 minutes or so, we should start closing through these bearish candles right here. Start closing through these candles and then see how that 11 a.m. price action responds to that. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna give price 30 minutes to do whatever it wants to do here. Give me a little bit more to work with. I have essentially one zone to work with. I'm gonna delete these bullish zones here. They got completely obliterated. Okay, move that over here. And then now we have this bearish area to work with. Excellent. Yeah, so I'm looking at this bearish zone up top. And potentially what'll happen is you'll get something like this where you get a bullish zone down here. Price could maintain this bullish zone and then send price up to this bearish zone and then continue lower. That would be A plus if you ask me, where you see price has been ranging a lot lately. You see those types of moves all the time. You see how we had this beautiful sell zone, never got retested. Price gives you a bullish zone here, breaks structure, retest it, trades right back into it, right? That's the type of move I'm looking for here. You get the buy up and then you get the sell off of it. That's exactly what I'm looking for today. I wonder if anybody caught those shorts. Let me check the chat room. Looks like everyone's pretty chill today. Yeah. All right, cool. So not much else to do here. I'm going to clean up my chart, take off these indicators. Boom, boom. YM super weak. YM didn't even bother getting back up to this accumulation. So if you're bearish, you definitely want to be short in YM. Let me put that at the top so I know that myself. Definitely short in YM if I get a clean retest of this area. And what do you know? Price is already flipping these bearish candles immediately. Come on, bro. Come on, guys. Just give me a clean setup, NASDAQ, and I will be on my way. Boom, boom, boom. There goes your first flip. YM, what about you? Still got to start flipping candles over here on YM. This could take like 30 minutes, right? That's why it's important to just sit back. It's definitely going to take at least 30 minutes to start flipping these zones. If you get a very fast retracement back into here, oh my goodness, that's going to be the A plus short situation. Just like this, right? This area here was left. What happened? Price accelerates into it and what dumps off. I don't know if we'll actually get there that quick, but if we do, I am all over those shorts, guys. All right, we go waiting for. And that's the game plan. All right, here we go. You see what I see? I see power of three. We get, bro, what's up with this candle? All right, so no gaps there. No gaps there. We see price offer a 11 a.m. open and drive directly into this green area. All right, with that drive, I am simply looking for with that drive, I am simply looking for my flip back bullish to target this area up here. All right. I'll just leave that where it's at. All right. Flip back bullish to target that area. We got YM sweeping out the lows, which is excellent. And as long as we can get some sort of aggressive move through a bearish gap, I am hip for the buys. Make this a little bit darker. There goes your bearish gap candle. There goes your blue line. And we are ready for a flip. All right, so everything essentially comes down to how price responds. Remember, we had the same profile up here for this potential zone to send price higher on that retest. It failed, sweeps the lows, and then immediately gives you a flip, the same flip that I was looking for, right? As soon as price takes this low, I just want to see price start flipping bearish candles and use this initial sweep candle as my retest. We're getting the retest. I'm looking for bearish gaps to be created in this area. And as always, pay attention to which one's stronger. So if I'm buying NQ today. If I'm selling YM. So far, so good. This looks exactly like how I would draw it up if I was anticipating a buy. Either price is going to give you some sort of bearish gap in this zone, or you're just going to get a simple market structure shift where price puts in the bottom here shortly. I just need price to put in the bottom. And then from there, I will look for my trade. That's the game plan. Doesn't get any simpler than that. I love the SMT that YM is giving here, making people FOMO into shorts. Hopefully it doesn't do the same thing we just saw here with the first sell-off, but I don't think it will. Rest of the market is probably still pretty flat. Yeah, negative 1%, 0.13, right? 0.72. It's not bearish across the board like you would expect when you see these types of sells. So now I'm looking for that bullish correction. And it'll start with some sort of 5-minute rejection candle out of this zone. And you can zoom down to the 1 minute and find your entry. We are starting to get bearish gaps on ES here. Excellent. There goes a gap candle right there on ES. And looking for that gap to show over here on NASDAQ as well. So yeah, game plan is simple. I want to see the 5-minute start to show rejection in this area. Give me some type of wick. Then I'll go from there. All right, here we go, man. Let's see if this speed can actually translate to something that makes sense. YM is dying here, so I need to see YM get back into this territory before I'm convinced. Otherwise, well, actually, it doesn't look bearish, right? When I'm looking for something bearish, I want to see a 30-minute profile. Here, this just looks like a deep manipulation sweep, and you can't count out that flip back bullish. Price could literally end up right back above here, so that's what I'll be looking for. But I really don't like how aggressive these shorts are today. They're not giving any type of warning here, no type of retest. We're filling in these gaps, right? A lot of gap traders may be like, bro, we just filled in this 5-minute gap or 15-minute gap. I don't trade gaps. Gaps will lead you astray. Today it may work. Next time this 15-minute gap will slap you in the face. So I'm looking at the structure behind these 30-minute candles. If you look at each 30-minute candle here, got this bullish candle, right? This bullish candle I was looking for a continuation off of this down close order block, failed, right? Now we have this bearish candle. All right, where's the structure within this bearish candle? It's up at the highs. The last attempt to go higher was up here. So I'm looking for price to retest this area right here. Ideally, right? It may not give it to you. We know that. But if I'm looking at this candle, we get a bullish candle close now. When I see this bullish candle, I'm looking for structure, and I see clean bullish structure at the bottom of this bullish candle. So a lot of people may get fooled and try to short here. I'm going to be the one looking for a long and try my luck on the longs. All right, there we go. We finally put in a bottom. We finally have bearish gaps to monitor. I like these bearish gaps in here. Really, this bearish gap is the one that gets my attention because we fill it in completely. Both of these candles here. All right, so with that, I'm looking for the same profile, right? I'm looking for price to put in a bottom. We have a bottom, looking for a lower high, and then I'm looking for price to break this lower high to go higher. And I'll be looking to buy NASDAQ and simply target this red zone up here. I won't be targeting the highs because price essentially does look bearish. Looks like we might start trending lower. Gold is accumulating, nothing crazy over here. But you do see this zone here. There it is, pop up, perfect. You do see that we have this bullish candle close, and you see that this bearish candle didn't leave much. This bearish candle did, but we tap into it and we've already made new lows, so I don't really anticipate a continuation. If it does continue, I don't trade these because we offered a retest and we've already taken out liquidity from this retest. So that would tell me that this is already mitigated, right? If it wants to continue, I just leave those trades alone. Here, we have an unmitigated retest happening right now, sweeping out the low, putting in this bottom. And now if you get this market structure shift, you know exactly what happens next if you're me. All right, boom, boom, boom. YM still free falling, bro. If this ends up bullish, I'll just laugh because this is extremely weak right now, but it doesn't really show much higher time frame structure when you think of a break and retest. It just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking. No retest. We broke here, no retest, and now we're breaking out again with no retest. Wow, this could be a free fall day. If so, I won't have any trades today. You would think though, if this is gonna just free fall, if NASDAQ is just gonna free fall, gold is gonna go bullish for the first time in a couple days. We've been selling off here for a good amount of time, and we're right around this weekly open. We swept the previous daily low. Gold is something that should be bullish during a war, but as you can see, the manipulation is all over the markets right now. I like this area though. This is a good market structure shift higher. You got a few lower highs being broken. You got these short-term lows being swept right now. You got the weekly open right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price tries to go bullish from here. on gold, but over here we're just leaking lower, man. I need a market structure shift here. Oh my goodness. Starting to wish I could have something to short off of, but I don't really see much, man. You got this. This is tough, bro. It just price just seems so weak today for the first time in a good amount of time. Look at it. Yeah, gold is even leaking lower, and we're about to open a new 30-minute candle here. Gold may give you a clean short. Oh, I wouldn't be opposed to shorting gold here if we get, yeah, this will be nice. You get a close underneath this weekly open. You get an attempt to go higher. You're gonna get a nice bearish 30-minute candle close here. You're gonna have a clean drawn liquidity. You got everything else trading lower. It's just a bearish day apparently, finally. I would love to be a part of these shorts, just looking for my model to show up, because right now this is bullish. This is telling me to look for a buy. It's not giving me an entry signal, which is fine, but there's no setup right now that tells me that shorts are okay if you're using my model. And my model typically gives me a good idea of where price is headed. So I can't ignore the fact that we're about to break structure here. We put this low in. We're about to break this high, if we can break it. Saw we slammed lower last time price tried to break this high. No bullish gaps as of yet. So if we break this high, then naturally you start to look at this down close candle for a retest. And there goes some more speed here. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna break this high. This will be my area of interest. This down close candle, if we can break those highs. If we can't, then I'm probably gonna short gold. There we go. Yeah, getting a nice push lower. At least gold is kind enough to give me something to work with, bro. This is ugly. No bullish candles at all being flipped in this current down close candle. All right, we got this 30-minute selling pressure here. It's about to close in 3 minutes. We have yet to flip anything bullish inside of here, but it looks like it will. It doesn't look like price is gonna break structure. It looks like price is literally stuck within this up close candle right now. So the waiting game continues. Yeah, the waiting game continues. I would laugh if this ends up bullish though, bro. Look at it. The rest of the market is chilling around break even. No real sell-off happening so far today. And now we're sitting in bullish territory over here, pretending to be stuck. Imagine we break out of here and literally rally to this zone here. I'll laugh so hard. But I will be in that trade though. We'll tell you that. I will be in that trade. Just waiting patiently here, man. At least give us something to work with. But it's 2 minutes left in this 30-minute candle, and I don't see anything bearish inside of this bearish candle here. So this right here would be considered as a ghost candle, meaning you get a 30-minute bearish closure. However, if you look at the 5-minute structure, my bad. If you look inside of the 30-minute close, this massive bearish candle, you get SMT at the low, which is a bullish indication. And then also inside of it, you don't see price offer any strong move higher and then flip it. So basically there's no bearish order blocks on this 5-minute chart, which 5-minute order blocks typically give me a beautiful indication of what price is up to. All right, so no 5-minute bearish order blocks in here. You got this 11 a.m. open lower, and then it just trades lower the entire time. So there's no power of 3 essentially inside of this candle. So I don't care to trade this candle. process of elimination, right? I want candles that offer power of 3. And this candle is not offering that. We just get 100% selling pressure here. Gold, on the other hand, we do get a little bit of power of 3. You get this open and you get an attempt to go higher and then fail. So this order block right here is a beautiful order block for a continuation inside of the next 30-minute candle. And that's what I'll be looking for. See if 1130 can open higher here. It's about to show up any minute now. We got about 7 seconds left. Let's see. And then YM, same thing, 5-minute chart. Massive bearish candle with no order blocks to work with. So I'm not really a fan of the shorts right now. I like these levels here for market structure shifts, but nothing bearish. If price wants to continue on these types of trades, I've pretty much eliminated this style of trading from my model. I don't want to be someone who just shorts the lows, right? I'm looking for reversals and reversals only, because that's typically how the market works, right? The market takes out some type of liquidity and then reverses. It's rare to see price just trade one direction the entire session. But that's why I don't care to look for these trades. Let these go without me, right? All right, but here we go, man. We are opening a new 30-minute candle, and you're gonna see, here we go. Look at this speed, right? This is just, I really don't want to buy with YM so weak. I would need to see YM literally get way back up here before I'm really convinced that it's bullish. You get a massive manipulation into here. Go to the daily chart. Look at what price is tapping into. All right, price is tapping into this down close candle here that sent price flying. You know, so that higher time frame area looks valid. However, I need to see some speed to catch up with these two over here. These are about to break structure. Gold takes this low, offers this area here. I'll put an alert here for gold, see how gold responds in this area. And there goes your market structure shift. All right, so now it's fair game for these. I can take this and be very, very cautious with how the trade goes, right? Because YM is still far behind. However, YM still has the opportunity to catch up. We got this market structure shift. Where's the order block? And I'm looking for a bullish fair value gap here. If this bullish gap holds up, I'm gonna buy it. Something like that. Yeah, bullish gap holds up. I'm buying that. If we can flip this blue line here, I will be in the long 15-minute chart. Right, yeah, so we had this down close candle is my area of interest. What do you know? Price drives into it, gives me everything I need to see. We have SMT as well. And then I want to see price get above this 10-minute range here, which it should be able to. Mark this off here. There we go. Nice speed, excellent. And it's leaving behind this gap. So this is what my trade will look like. I'm buying above the blue line, stop below here, and then literally target the next area of interest. Something like that. Really nice there. YM should be catching up. You see what I mean? Like YM is far behind, but if you see price start breaking structure down here, you should at least get a retest of these 10-minute lows here. Yeah, 10, 15-minute body prices. If we're bearish, it'll should at least drive into here before going lower. So that I can use these as my targets here. You get that market structure shift, you get that bottom right here. Put in the low, put in that lower high, which is where this green line is. All right, with that lower high, I want to see price pull back into this fair value gap, maintain this gap here, and then that should be, if we clear this, that should be a clean buy. Look at this aggressive move back into here. Let's see how price responds. This is a good drive. Same over here. Nice. This will tell you if price is truly bullish. If so, like I said, I want to enter around 25.48, 25,048, and I'm putting my stop underneath this bullish gap here for about 70 points. Tight stop, 70 points would be 4 micros. So let me get ready for that. All right, not sure if this is gonna hold up, but we're about to find out. And then you have ES over here needs to break this line as well. And my draw is gonna be this zone up here. Like I said, YM's overextended, but you don't see anything on a bearish profile that I would think would short and keep price going lower here. I'm looking at the 1 minute to see if the reversal protocol is showing up on YM. It is starting to show. You're starting to see rejection out of this gap. Price can start accelerating here. I like higher, 25, 47, 48. For about 80. And there you go. You see price starting to climb out of here. No surprise, right? I've already mapped out my plan. So if it happens the way I want to see it happen, there's no reason for me to let this trade go without me. Just looking for a break of this blue line. And I am hip for longs. But as I mentioned, I don't think the longs are going to get up to here. They could. This high right here could definitely be a problem. So this is a break-even level here. Definitely a break-even level there. And part of me wants to, let's see how many points that would be. 50 points there. The tightest I can make my stop is about 65 points. I want my stop as tight as possible. That way, when price gets to break even, I could even close the trade if I wanted to. Take a good chunk out of the market, like 60 for 60 type of trade. Yeah, I'm gonna go tight stop, bro. The tighter my stop, the better the management can be once price takes this high. I can go 60 for like 70 here. And there you go. You see the gap holding up. Everything is literally step for step what I would have asked for. That's some T off the low. YM being aggressive here. I need to see YM start to show that life as well. And then we have, let's say, this 10-minute level here. I would like to see price break this bearish candle and continue higher. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 60 points on the stop, increase my risk. I'm not playing games with this market anymore, guys. 60 points, same thing, 4 micros. I'm looking for about 70 points on the TP. Just gotta wait for price to get above here, because this could still be, you noticed before, right? This was used as support. We got up under it, rejected it really nicely, and this is now resistance. Definitely want to see price show a decent close above here. And the tough part is the 1 minute can trick you, bro. It'll give you a 1 minute closure up above here and then fall right back under. So it's tough, but maybe I'll wait for a 2 minute closure, something to just give price a chance to fake out if it wants to at this blue line without tricking me. YM, there you go. There you go. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. 48. Yeah. 60 points. Yeah. I may need a 42. Need to enter as close to this blue line as possible. Like I said, I'm already anticipating higher. So I'm being patient, waiting for it to get up here. Right? I don't want to let it get too far above this blue line before I get in, knowing that this high right here is going to be my break even spot or my TP essentially. I could even, draw up a 60 for 60. Put my TP right next to that high if I can get in around this blue line. I have to be more aggressive with my stop placement, essentially, is what I've been taking from my notes, because my stops, like a lot of the times our stop doesn't even get close to being hit when I'm right. Like it doesn't even get close to being hit. So the tighter the stop, the better you can manage the trade when you get profits. Or is 500 about there goes some speed. Look at ES, bro. How is ES taking it? ES is accelerating here, kid. All right, there we go. Don't move too fast. Now I need you to give me a chance to enter this trade. YM still rejecting this level here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we are getting above this 15-minute level. Nice. Everything I would have asked for showing up really nicely here. Just waiting patiently. It's 11:41. Who knows how long it'll take for this to unfold. All right, let's go 5 minute. And I don't want to see price close through these bullish candles, right? If we start closing through these bullish candles, that's telling me price is really not ready to go anywhere. And it's probably going to try to go short in the next 30-minute sequence. So if we're truly bullish, you'll see these bullish lows here maybe get swept, but you won't see any true strength underneath these 5-minute lows. Similar to these shorts, right? You see price is truly bearish. You don't see price really closing through 5-minute highs. Maybe you sweep it, but when price is truly in a rush, it's not doing that. So let's see. A lot of selling pressure for no reason here. So yeah, we might end up going bearish. It just depends how these next 2 minutes play out. So I'm on standby right now. Protocol for the buyers are in effect unless we start closing through these bullish candles, which would, honestly, technically you probably want shorts today because the shorts are looking really good. But when I see these types of moves, bro, the short never got retested here. This short never gives you any real order block to pay attention to. So now I'm like, the shorts don't really seem legit. Gold still accumulating at this low. I want to see a pop back inside of the 5,080s area. Yeah, we're chilling, man. We're chilling. See what this next minute and a half does. And what do you know? We are active. This zone is holding up like a champion. YM playing catch up as anticipated. All right. YM looking good. Everything looking good here. All right. I think I want to try this. Let's see here. I got to get a good feel, man. Yeah, I got to buy that right there. I am in the long, slightly early, but like I mentioned, everything is aligning. So, like, as bad as I would say, like, oh, I should wait for ES to close through here. If something weird happens literally at the last 1% of confirmation, then I'll just take that loss. But here, everything from this sweep to this formation to leaving this wide open to breaking structure to giving you a fair value gap, everything I was asking for was given to me perfectly, right? So now all I have to do is take the trade, put my stop where I need it, set my TP, and walk away. Don't want to, you know what I mean, talk myself out of this. I waited patiently. You do want to see price flip this blue line here. I'm anticipating the flip, right? So if I waited for the flip to close through, I could potentially miss my entry. So in this scenario, I'm okay with the anticipation. And on that note, I am long here, anticipating ES to go ahead and flip this high. And then gold was showing that drive back into here. So I'll keep an eye on gold. Keep an eye on these two side by side. Zoom in a bit. I'm just looking for 2-minute chart, maybe a little bit cleaner, but looking for a strong move through this blue line here. Orders are filled. There we go. All right, I'm out of here. Just passed my accounts, and that right there was perfect. Took a little bit of drawdown, but as you can see, this area held up. Tight stop, break even at the high. Textbook, textbook, textbook. TP out there. What was my entry? 42s. And you see, it took a little bit of anticipation here. Took a little bit of anticipation, but that's where, like I was saying, like I just have to be a little bit more aggressive with my trading and specifically my stop losses, because if I get a tighter stop where I'm basically seeing price respect, if I can get in there, I can catch what I'm looking for and just get out of the market before it has a chance to be weird. Like you see this massive pullback, like so lame, bro. The market is weird lately, especially during this war. So great trade, great trade. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That was beautiful. Yeah, I just passed that account. So we'll be back funded for tomorrow. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. Shouldn't even have to deal with stuff like this. But yesterday, like I said, I had to accept that the markets are really strange right now. So I need to get my piece of the pie and just get out. Just get out, bro. No more like, big stop losses. Maybe I would have put my stop at 70 points last time. Tighter stops, more precision, and then just take it from there. Copy this. 75 points VIP. There you go. TP hit. There we go. Now I can get out of here. It's 12 o'clock. And I would love to see this continue higher back into this zone here. But remember how weak YM was? So it's tough to say whether price wants to accumulate underneath this blue line here or will it actually push into it. And then we have gold over here trending higher as well. Seems like these are really mimicking each other. When gold is bullish, looks like we get bullish candles as well. Well, yeah, I'm going to drop this in the chat room. Drop a like if today made sense to you. Drop a like if you found a way to make money on your prop accounts today. And then the week isn't over. I'm coming back tomorrow and I want another banger trade tomorrow, and that'll pretty much set me up going into next week. Like I said, this is the same profile we saw yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. So there was no reason for me to pity pat with this trade. I had to take it, even though it was kind of scary, but I had to take it. All right. You guys take care. Screenshot going up right now in the Discord, in the Telegram. Let me actually do it like this. Tight stop was about 60 points, so that was about 1.3 R. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Make sure my journal is up to date here. And look at this pullback, bro. This is so lame, bro. The markets have been very lame. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh. All right, cool. Whatever. This is why you got to go break even after highs are being taken. This could pull back way down here and still be bullish. Similar to yesterday, right? Remember yesterday? But I took a buy down here and I think I got out. Something caused me to get out. It was the same type of thing, man. The same thing where yesterday I bought it here, right? And then I see ES rejecting this blue line. So I'm like, yo, let me get out before it tries to sweep me. but it never sweeps me. And then it goes to TP. And then once TP was hit, you saw price start literally wasting hours going sideways in this range after taking this high. And then that caused a bunch of uncertainty, right? Same exact thing here, but today I decided I'm not going to be too concerned with this rejection simply because the market showed us yesterday it will reject this line for no reason. Look at this. It rejected here, maybe to fill in this gap. Maybe that's why it went lower here, but so much of like unnecessary price action. And it only started when this war started. So that's kind of why it caught me off guard yesterday. I haven't been seeing it do this. It wasn't this hard to break through throughout the entire month of February. But now all of a sudden price finds every reason to reject, fake out this way, fake out that way. And now look, you break a high, you slam lower, and now you're about to go right back to new highs. It's just, you got to be careful, man. And you got to be careful. Anyway, fabulous trade. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Dropping this in the Discord now. God bless as always. And let's end the week tomorrow with a even better trade. Oh, sorry, I just saw some of your chats. So the ICT higher time frame is the ICT kill zones and then ICT higher time frame candles. All right, cool. I'm out of here. Did ES take out that high yet? No, ES hasn't taken out that high. So when I tell you this is almost identical to what we saw yesterday, the stronger asset takes the objective, the weaker asset doesn't take the objective, pulls back, hangs out in this area for a few hours, and then what do you know, at the end of the day, ES ends up coming back to take this high, and it's just like the algorithm is really set on pure manipulation mode. Like a lot of people would have assumed that this move right here would have retested some type of fair value gap, this 15-minute gap, taking out the lows. Instead, price pump fakes the lows, SMT goes back, takes this high. Now you're getting another sell-off, which I don't think is legitimate, but we'll find out. Check the charts later. I am not trading anymore today. Running far away from this nonsense and enjoying the rest of my afternoon. I suggest you guys do the same. Be safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Indicator created by doesn't tell me who created. If I type it up, it should tell me. 1 second. Let me show you. So the creator, so this one, higher time frame candles, is Fadi. Fadi created it. And this one, ICT kill zones and pivots. This one was created by, go to my favorites. ICT kills. So this one's is trade for TFO, trade for op. Body and trade for op. Perfect. All right, cool. You got it? Nice. Nice. And look at this. Look at this selling pressure. About to get another SMT. Telling you guys, bro. Like, even watching this sell off right now makes me wonder if I should really even trade tomorrow. It's so trash. But if you have a tight stop with proper targets, you can survive in this. Like, the same trade was here yesterday. Like here, when I got out early, this is the same approach. If I would have held my trade and just got out at this high, I would have made about 500 bucks and just call it a day, right? Because once this high was taken, you started to notice over here, look at what happened. I started to get chopped up, even though NASDAQ was pretty clean higher. ES stopped me out multiple times with this massive drop for no reason. And then what happens? By 1:45 p.m., even though the confirmation was at 11 a.m., 11:20, the trade doesn't hit TP until 2 p.m. after manipulating this area as much as possible. So I can't say that I shouldn't trade. I should say that I need to make sure I'm trading the stronger asset, which yesterday NQ was much stronger, just like today. And I need to make sure that I am getting out of the trade or for sure at break even once this high is taken, because I have a model that's going to give me a really good win rate and a really good draw on liquidity. I can't, you know, it's easy to say it in hindsight, but in the moment, I'm like, bro, why is ES rejecting that blue line or whatever color it was yesterday? All right, it was something in here that ES was rejecting that threw me off. It was right here, this This move lower right here threw me off, but that's just because I haven't seen it. Now that I've seen it, I can adjust and I can say, this doesn't scare me. I'm gonna hold my position until this high is taken. If I get stopped out, then I'll take that, right? So I don't want to sit out the markets. I just have to be very precise with my trades. And that's only going to make me a better trader. So I will be on the charts tomorrow. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, no fear. All right. I'm out of here.